Remember when I said the Evergreen said on the astral plane there's too many dimensions and they need to focus, so they come here? And you said, well, that's like here. Yeah, the mind is meant to separate things out because it's part of our sensory complex. The eye is one part. So, I want the butter, hand me the butter, and so you do that. But we don't understand that, which is Krishnamurti's point, we expand, enlarge, and confuse that little mental function into something else, which becomes ideology and then problems.
Yes.
And how do you make someone become aware of a useful instrument, but become aware of what its limitations serve and disserve? I always considered that I was doing Krishnamurti, and I wrote in my essay that led to Crystal's thesis, which led me being out there. I said, McLuhan updated Krishnamurti, because Krishnamurti is trying to make you aware of the mind. We'll call it the first nature mind in here, which is a mystery still, but we use it. Now we've extended the mind. That squares the confusion. And so McLuhan went past Krishnamurti. He says, well, yeah, there is the hypnosis of the mind, but we've extended, so we got two problems. And let's deal with the later problem first before we get back to what our organic mind is.
Don't you have the same problem that Krishnamurti had when you're doing that? Because people don't want to go to what you're really doing, which he's trying to get them back to see the state of mind. It doesn't matter what I'm talking about. I'm trying to get you to look at this.
But I would fascinate people because I wouldn't be obviously doing that. I'd be talking about the second McLuhan extended mind and playing with patterns in that. And then eventually they would always, if they got into it, say, well, what about my soul? Or what about... And then they'd suddenly recover their sense of their mind after they got tired of dealing with the mental extended patterns. And then I would be able to go into that part. But I would never start with that.
That's an interesting thing you can talk to Jerry about, too, these mental extended patterns as addictions.
Oh, yeah,
because you've got all these people addicted to crop circles or this or that or the other thing, and they're real addicted to it.
Is that why you employ the metaphor of the evergreens?
The evergreens are just another topic, because a lot of people are into channeling, and they are actually the best channel around, so I always have the best of everything. You want to talk about media studies, you go to McLuhan. Most people didn't know about McLuhan, right? You want to know about top-down conspiracy stuff, the best guy, LaRouche. Most people have David Icke and stupid stuff out there. So I always provide the best source in different ways of looking at reality. And I had the evergreens. I used to play them on the radio. I used to claim that the subgenius axis, the aliens had come early and met with me, and I taped them, and I would play with my evergreen readings.
So that
so
was
I
a hook
keep
for
them.
Certain elements.
One day in '93, I'd been on Genesis of Music, David Porter's show, and Jared and I went to see Tim Leary speak in some little place downtown. And that was after I'd been with Tim Leary, which I have. I could show you me and Tim Leary and Nelson Thal on a TV show here. I have it in my little collection. We got a TV to put it on, a DVD. But so we went to see him shortly after that. And then after
that wasn't it on Sunset Boulevard in
might have been
upstairs in a restaurant.
And Leary kind of just leaned up against the wall, very casually took questions after showing his video.
I was there. I had
yeah, that's a new one. There you go. And you remember he showed his little hippie friends made a little DVD about McLuhan as Socrates. Do you remember the thing he showed?
Yeah, he was really starting to get into the
colonizing outer space.
Well, but he was getting into the computer thing.
Yeah, he's talking about virtual reality. But do you remember that he showed the video, and you probably didn't know who McLuhan was?
I didn't recall that it was about McLuhan.
Yeah, it was all about McLuhan, and we had just done an interview about him. He was interested in McLuhan, had been, and got retrieved. Hey, but Nancy, listen to this.
I'm listening.
So what happened was, after the show, we were walking around, and somebody mentioned me to the bartender. I don't know how it came up, and he goes, well, all of a sudden, or maybe he just thought of it because of the discussion Larry prompted. Because I heard this guy on the radio last night, and he mentioned everybody. May Brussel, Krishnamurti, McLuhan, blah, blah, blah. Listen of all the names I've been dropping in the show, and he says, it was incredible. He says, I love living in L.A. That's what he first It's only in L.A. you hear something like that. Yeah. So I walked over and said, hey, I was the guy you just talked about. So then that surprised him, Yeah. And then we talked a bit. But that was one of my main memories, is he loved the fact that he was watching me trigger off all these different memes, all these different areas of people and ideas, and he's impressed with this guy who could go anywhere you want to go. Oh, you want to talk Krishnamurti? Okay, we'll do him. You want to do May Brussel? Blah, blah, blah. So that was cute hearing that. I mean, the guy just bursted out. He was bartending. He says, yeah, I heard this guy on the radio last night. It's incredible. He was all over the place. May Brussel, blah, blah, blah. And then his point was, I love living in L.A. Now look at that. He wasn't living in L.A. He's on the radio.
Yeah.
Living in cyberspace.
Yeah, he's living in cyberspace, but he thinks he's in L.A.
Yeah.
And he could have heard it anywheres. And it's also sounded like he occasionally gets confused about why he is in L.A. And suddenly something like that. Oh yeah, that's why I'm here. You know what I mean? Because you can get confused in a big city.
Oh. Yeah.
You know, and wonder why you're here.
Yeah, he should have just said, I love being alive. Like Zap used to say. Zap used to yell that out at concerts.
Yeah, he says.
Great to be alive.
He says, if you don't think it's fucking great to be alive, then this show will bring you down. It was a warning you tell people. And Zappa could make it great to be alive. It's such good music. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
So what, why did we get on to all the, the meeting. So that's the background, right? That's why you're here. So what Scott did, Nancy, is we go through the book, and you can hear, it's like the director's cut. I'm commenting on what the book was supposed to be meant to do, and we've done so many hours, and it's all up on my website. You can hear it. You can hear our dialogues.
Wow.
Many, many hours.
Wow.
Yeah, what is it technically?
Well, after we finished and got up to the
Chart.
we'd done 46, we posted
Right.
46 sessions, which were 90 minutes each.
Early one's a little longer. A few
Yeah,
little
the early
longer.
ones were
Going
longer.
through the book?
Yeah, we read every quote and we comment. And
Wow.
he reads it and he stumbles through.
So why don't you put that together as a book?
You mean transcribe all what we
Yeah.
say? Well, you want to type it?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
could edit out some of my more dope.
No. They create audience attention. You don't understand. We need a dummy so the average person thinks, oh, these
These
are
guys know what
human.
they're talking about. Yeah.
The thing is that Scott would read it and stumble through. Then I'd discuss it, or he might stop halfway and say, what's that mean? Then when we finish discussing it, then I'd read it through real smoothly, real fast, and you could kind of hear what it meant because you'd heard me explaining it. So I like the stumbling through part because people are listening. If it was said smoothly, they wouldn't be able to keep up with it. But the fact that Scott stumbles along gives people time to stop and think about what has been said, you know?
But the thing is, if you're reading it, you don't need that because
That's
you
right.
can read it slowly.
Right,
That's
right.
what he's saying. We don't need to make you look that
Right, we're just going to have the
illiterate.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's right. We're just going to have the
We'll
commentary.
just have his commentary and,
And
then add
people-
that, and that would make it much more available because you cannot come to everybody's house like you're coming here to teach us.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I come
one
here to
student
listen.
at a time.
I don't come to teach, I come here to listen and study the effects.
well then, we'll
Study
be
the
careful.
effects of
Be
them.
careful of our words.
Yeah, watch what you're doing. I'm
God.
studying you. I could bust you at any moment.